Hey everybody, welcome back to the Half Hour of Power. Joe.
This is Jesse.
Hey Jesse, how was your week?
It was pretty good. I tried to spread the love of Cthulhu across Japan, but didn't go well.
Japan?
Japan.
Well, doesn't he live like somewhere off the coast of South America anyway?
Cthulhu? Cthulhu is all. Cthulhu is everywhere.
You think he's omnipotent?
He's Cthulhu! If South Park has taught me anything, Cthulhu is omnipotent.
I don't know. I think it's off the coast of South America somewhere.
Okay.
Oh, are you just going to be silent about it?
Yeah.
All right. All right, so we are going to talk about the new Martin Scorsese movie, Silence. So I'm looking up Rotten Tomatoes on that now to see what the score is. What do you think it is?
It's 84%.
You think it's rotten?
It's 84%.
You think it's fresh? You think it's ripe?
I don't know what their scorecard is. How do they base their scorecard?
It's right on the website.
Right, but I didn't care enough to look at all that up.
It's just right on the front, right there.
Yeah. Well, tell me.
It tells you
Well,
right
if you're looking at it, you can tell me then.
Oh, yeah, I am looking at it, aren't I? So, yeah, it's 84%. So, obviously, you did look it up at some point. But, yeah, it's just right there. It's right there. Reviews counted 176. 147 of them are fresh and 29 are rotten. I don't know what movie those 29 people watched.
Well,
maybe they're not people. Maybe it's, I mean, that could be like a combined review, and maybe it's two people. What do you think the audience score was?
62.
62, why?
Well, I mean, Scorsese is quite polarizing with his movies, so I can't say that I think everyone enjoys his movies, because that would be a lie.
That would be a lie.
He's quite polarizing in his. I mean, he made a movie about Catholicism, for God's sake.
It's polarizing.
Yeah, he really puts it out there.
Yeah, so the audience score is 71%.
That's not bad. That's better than I thought it would be.
Well, I mean, with the trend of Rotten Tomatoes nowadays, 84%, I mean, this should be like a super blockbuster.
Yeah. Yeah.
It should. You don't think so?
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, when we get into it, I mean, we'll find. But I mean, we were sitting next to two people when we saw this movie, and I guess we're just dead inside, but they were gasping a lot more than we were because there's a lot of violence in this movie.
There is a lot of violence, but
it's necessary.
I felt in a movie like this, we were laughing at the appropriate moments.
Yeah.
In the movie.
Yeah.
I don't remember. You were sitting closer to him than me. I was sitting all by myself.
Yeah.
So were they gasping at moments we laughed at? I suppose would be the question.
Yeah. I mean, like there's a decapitation scene that I thought was kind of funny.
It was very. You kind of saw it coming. You kind of knew something was going to happen to him, but the way it was.
Right.
It was nicely done. It's kind of abrupt, so it's kind of.
Let me just say this. When I laugh at violence in movies, it's not because I think it's funny, but it's better than going, oh, it's like, yeah.
That too, yeah. I mean, the other thing is we know it's not real.
Yeah.
I mean, we know this story is based on true things that happen.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that the violence taking place in the movie.
Yeah.
It's not real.
Right.
It's not a snuff film.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if they don't know that, or I don't know. I don't know. Do you think they were just more into it than we were? I mean, I think the last show we did, we both said this would be in our top 5 of the year.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not top 2 for me. It's, you know, there weren't too many movies that were better than this one this year.
No.
And like I said, I think one of the things, well, just to get into it, one of the things that we really liked about it and liked about Hacksaw Ridge is that they're 2 films that they're not superhero movies. They're not any kind of like action sci-fi. They're just really deep down, you know, historical movies that tell a story that we haven't seen in a while. I mean, both of them are strangely very faith-based movies, but of course they're different in their ways too. Hacksaw Ridge is, of course, a World War II movie, and it's about a guy who doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to kill anybody, so he doesn't want to carry a gun. And Silence is about 2 Jesuits. They were Jesuits, right? 2 Jesuit priests who are sent to Japan to find their old teacher, and also while there, pass the love of Christ, as they say, to the Japanese. The Japanese government doesn't want anything to do with Christianity. They're Buddhist, and they want to stick to their Buddhist beliefs. And that, I mean, I think that's a lot more political than could be explained in the movie, because, you know, religion has a lot to do with what powers were back there in those days. But it's just a wonderfully shot movie. It's beautiful to look at. The acting is good. The directing, of course, is top notch. You can't do better than that guy. And the story is just freaking wonderful. I've had a problem with reading reviews of it, because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, he sides with the priest in this movie," and, you know, because of his Catholic background. Well, that might be true. I didn't see it myself. I know that he is a lapsed Catholic. He's not, you know, practices Catholicism, but I think one of the main themes of the movie is the struggle with your faith. And that's something that he's dealt with his entire life. He's always struggled with what he believes. And he should. God, we all should, you know. It's not something that you should take lightly. It's something you should think about and, you know, put a lot of thought into. And that movie says this. And, because, you know, what the Japanese do to people who they find are Christians is horrible, beyond words, really. And so, I mean, it's just basically a reaction of, when is it too much, you know, when is it, because they keep telling me that they could live if they apostatize.
Yeah. I just want to go back to some of these reviews real quick before we get into that.
Yeah.
So I'm looking down here at Rotten Tomatoes reviews, and there's a review that says, this fellow here says, "Silence is purely for the faithful, including those believers in the cult of Scorsese as master filmmaker." So it sounds like that guy just doesn't like Scorsese to begin with.
That guy doesn't have that guy's opinion doesn't matter.
So, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, for those, this is another one. For those not exalted by the inner workings of devotion, this movie's a slog. Okay. Alright, so here's one little more positive blurb. "Scorsese doesn't glorify martyrdom, and he doesn't even hate the killers."
Yeah, he didn't.
No, I thought he treated both sides fairly, because the Japanese Christians, they're not... I mean, even the political guys,
Yeah,
who are going after him, I mean, they explain why they're doing it.
right.
So he makes death as blunt and dull and useless as a snapped pencil, and the point is there.
I don't think that he made death like that. The scene that I said I chuckled at with the decapitation wasn't dull and senseless. It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Had a lot. Yeah. So, I mean, we were getting into this, so that scene that you're talking about, they go. Andrew Garfield's character is in prison.
Right.
And they're trying to get him to apostatize. So, because for them, that is a good propaganda
right.
coup. Because they got his mentor, played by Liam Neeson, to apostatize, and he's living Japanese life with a Japanese wife and kids.
I mean, they go to the extremes, though. They make him take over someone else's life.
Yeah, so, but what they're doing to Andrew Garfield in the scene you're describing is they tell him all that he has to apostatize and they won't kill anymore.
Yeah.
But he won't do it. He can't do it. He said, well, I'm just not going to do it. I can't do it. And that's a pretty deep question. Like, you know, if somebody's going to put a gun to my head or a sword to my neck and say, hey, give it up. Give up the faith. That's one thing, you know, that's just me. But if they say, you see all the people out there, unless you give up your faith, we're going to kill all those people.
Right.
And before we kill them, we're going to torture them all a little bit in little ways that's going to really hurt.
Right, because
that's really different than what the Romans were doing.
Yeah.
To the early Christians.
They even point that out to Andrew Garfield. They said, you know, when you guys first came here, we would take your missionaries and we would do this to the missionaries.
Yeah.
And we would, you know, put them on, you know, do all this. He goes, but you guys are also willing to die for your God. It meant nothing. He goes, but once we started torturing the Japanese Christians, you guys were apostatizing left and right. So, you know, that had a bigger effect. So that's why we kept doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, he explains that to him quite thoroughly, because of that scene, they asked every one of those people who were in the cage across from him to apostatize, which apostasy is where you reject your faith by stepping on a relic or a symbolic representation of Jesus or Mary or any Christian deity. And they asked them all to do it, and they said no. So they were like, oh, put him back in the prison, put that guy, don't put that guy in. And then next thing you know, the guy turns around, the guy walks up to him, just chops his head off, wipes the sword off, and walks back in, and it's like, and Andrew Garfield, of course, they're all crying, everyone starts crying, yeah, everyone starts just, is in shock about it. And so, I don't know, dull and senseless, there's a scene, and it's a violent scene, but God, it was so beautiful. They take three of the, because when they arrive in the movie, spoilers, you know, of course.
Yeah, we spoil stuff. So.
Yeah. When they arrive in Japan, they start out in a village led to them by Kichiro. Who Kichiro is the Judas of the movie. Every 5 seconds he's betraying them, and he keeps coming back for forgiveness.
Yeah, that was fun. I mean, that was...
he's a fun character.
That was an interesting scenes, too, because he's like... He's struggling with that himself.
Yeah. He admits he's weak. He goes, I'm weak. They offer me money. Like, even worse than just you being a missionary and watching your followers be killed. He watched his entire family die.
Yeah, they set him on fire.
Yeah, because he apostatized. He was the only one who apostatized, and the rest of them he killed. But he had to stay. They made him watch it, and that was a powerful scene. Again, the violence wasn't dull. It wasn't senseless. It shows why he is so easy when they come to him and say, you better apostatize or we're going to kill you. He's like, you know, because their big thing is to have him stomp on it.
Yeah.
They want him to step on it. But earlier on in the movie, he's leads him to that village, and they pick 4 of them to apostatize, and 3 of them refuse to do it, and then Kichijiro, he does it, and then he runs off. So they take these 3 guys, they crucify them like out on the outskirts of the ocean.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Right, and one of the guys is really old, so he dies fairly early on. I think he lasted a day. They said he was dead in like a day. And then the 3rd guy dies, and then the middle guy, lasted like a week. They said like a whole week, and before he died, he started singing a hymnal.
Yeah, and when the tide comes in,
Yeah.
it goes so high it goes over his head.
Right. And
So it's smashing him in the face and everywhere.
so not only is he like being starved, dehydrated, he has this ocean smashed into his body every 5 seconds. But he sings a hymnal before he dies, and you know Garfield and Adam Driver, who's also one of the Jesuit priests, are watching it, and they're dying inside watching this. But
Because they're hiding.
yeah, because they told them to. They told them not to come out. They want them to live. They want them there.
They wanted priests at the village because they couldn't have mass
Right. Or confessional.
or the sacraments.
Yeah, and it was really sad to watch because you know Garfield and Driver, they were willing to die for what they believed in, but watching other people do it isn't as it's harder to do. You know, watching yourself go through something, but they bring your family in, or you know, in this case, his followers, they're kind of like a family. You know, he talks to them every day. He meets with them every day. So watching them go through it is just 10 times worse. And that's what happened to Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
Too. You know.
Oh, that was a great opening too.
Yeah. It wasn't him. Well, they finally broke him with something else though, but they did torture him a little bit. But those scenes are not dull. They're not senseless violence. They show that these people want this in their lives. And to me, you know, I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, you're probably a Christian. I'm not really a Christian. I'm really an agnostic. I believe in, you know, I'm not an atheist, I'm an agnostic. But it's a really strong, you know, but it makes them feel good. It makes them feel, they're poor. They have nothing. Nothing. And it makes their lives feel better, and it lightens their lives. I don't see what the problem is. But it's about, I think it's about politics and control. They don't want it. And they don't need it, as they put it. I mean, I'm sure Buddhism is that's the other thing I always thought Buddhism was more about peace and love too, but but I'm sure it's a beautiful religion and all that. But it makes some really good points. Like that, he said that one of the priests like saw the Buddha and laughed at it because it was a big fat guy. He's like, they're laughing at my God, you know. So it's a really strong movie, but it's also very it's going to make you think. You're going to be sitting there to the whole thing thinking about what's going on, and because I don't think the Japanese look incredibly bad in that movie. I mean, Christians have done worse than that too back in their day, because like most people who create these acts of violence or you know things like that in the name of a god don't understand that God usually. Like Allah, Buddha, the Christian God. I mean, none of them have said like, go out and kill everybody. That you know, it's not really you know, end them. You know, it's usually religions to be not you know be good to one another, and to accept them. But
yeah,
but like I said in this movie, I think the guys who are in charge aren't really, you know, they're most likely atheists and they don't care. But part of their way they control their people is through religion. And they need that, they don't want that to go away. And of course, the Jesuits are very, what's the word I'm looking for? Arrogant about their God. In a way that actually, it could kind of piss people off. Like, oh, our God is the only true God, your God is nothing. And it's like, oh, yeah, okay, no, alright, cool, yeah. Be a jerk about it.
Well, I mean, that's what they're taught, so.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
If they weren't saying that, then they weren't telling them everything they were taught.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I think one of the things that is missing from both sides is that willingness to look at the other person's life. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, you believe in Buddha. Well, Buddha's wrong, no matter what. Buddha doesn't teach you, like, you know, to go out and kill people. He teaches you patience. I mean, like, the lessons he teaches aren't bad lessons. But, of course, they believe that, you know, Jesus is the true answer, and they believe Buddha's the true answer. There's no wrong, I mean, there's nothing wrong as long as you're living a peaceful life. But they weren't, and the problem was that they couldn't have more than one god there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, most countries now you can believe in whatever religion you really want to.
Well, let's get into this there. So we're talking about, and we talked about this after the movie.
Which we sat at in the theater for like 10 minutes after that movie was over.
Well, I mean, till the credits were over, because
Yeah.
they kick you out after that. You really should leave after the credits are over. And I wonder if that was going through the priest's head in the movie, Andrew Garfield and Adam Driver was, well, if we apostatize to save their lives, does that count? Does that count? I don't think it counts. And I had a discussion with a priest about this. That doesn't count.
Yeah.
Somebody puts a gun to your head and says, okay, apostatize, or we're going to, and then takes the gun away from your head and puts it at someone else's head, or we're going to kill this person.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that doesn't really count. You're under duress. You're under,
Right, I mean...
I think, but still, that struggle is there.
Right.
Well, I don't really want to do that. This is my life. This is what I am. This is what I believe. I don't want to do that. But to save somebody else's life, that, I don't know. I think about that, because I'm a practicing Christian. Would I do that to save someone else's life? I probably would.
Yeah. But, I mean, the thing is, with the movie, though, is that, I think it's demonstrated pretty strongly, is that Andrew Garfield tells them, I mean, he doesn't do it to their faces, but he's sitting there in the jungle, and as he's watching them, he tells them, he goes, do it, apostatize.
Yeah, he tells them, but Adam Driver tells him not to.
Yeah. But see,
he doesn't think you should, so you can kind of see that struggle there played out
right.
with those two guys.
And those people in the village, those missionaries, they don't want to see them apostatize. They don't want them to do that, because I don't want to say their belief is that strong. Because at one point in the movie, and this is really where you get like some crazy ideals, and the other way is that Andrew Garfield says he doesn't really think they know what all that stuff means, all the symbols and all that stuff means to them, but that they just need something like that in their lives. Because...
Didn't Liam Neeson say that?
And Liam Neeson says that too.
Liam Neeson says
because remember he's handing out
Well, because when he's talking to Andrew Garfield thinks they believe it.
Right. Well, but
he's talking to Liam Neeson.
But he's having his doubts, though, when he's passing out the... Because there's a scene where he goes...
Oh, in the beginning when he's passing that out. Yeah, but... Yeah. Okay, yeah. So then when he gets to Liam Neeson, because he hands out... Because they want relics, they want reminders, they want things, they want crosses, they want rosary. So he takes apart his rosary and gives away all the beads.
Which you and I had that... I questioned you whether, like, the rosary is a sacred object. And he breaks it apart to give it to... And that's...
Well, I mean, it's prayer beads.
Yeah. But I mean...
Other religions do have prayer beads.
Yeah, but I mean, your prayer beads that you hold in high esteem.
Yeah, you do hold those in high esteem.
And so he's breaking it apart to give it a piece to each person, because they want a piece of... They want a piece of it, so he's
because they don't even have a church.
Yeah, so he's giving it away, and I was like, well, isn't that a form of apostasy, really, right there, where he breaks up his... But, yeah, we had that discussion. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that is really thought-provoking in this movie.
Yeah, there's a lot in it like that, because Andrew Garfield, when he sees the faith of these people...
Yeah.
And how far they're willing to go to keep it, I think that's when he really believed that they thought it. And he does, like we've already mentioned this, he does get to meet up with Liam Neeson again.
Yeah.
And this was an interesting scene, I thought, because he tells him that he's apostatized and he's living a Japanese life. He's got a Japanese wife, Japanese kids, living in a Japanese house. But he doesn't look comfortable saying it.
Right.
He doesn't look like he wants to say it, or that's what he wants to be doing. Because the what was his name? The keeper with him? What was his name?
Oh,
was he the Inquisitor? Was that?
No. He was with a Buddhist monk. He was living with a monk.
No, I mean, who was the guy that was there with the meeting? Was that the monk?
No. The guy who was with Andrew Garfield had no name. They never named him. He was just called the translator.
So he was kind of prompting Liam Neeson on what to say.
Right.
I thought. I mean, I suppose you can interpret it either way, but to me, it's undeniable he's uncomfortable.
He's leading
in
him.
that scene.
He's leading because he says things. He goes, tell him about this. Tell him about that.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be writing a book about how wrong Christianity is and how awesome it is to not be a Christian.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that kind of brings up the question, you know, they never say it outright. Did he really, in his heart, give it up? Outwardly, he gave it up, or privately.
Yeah.
Now, Andrew Garfield, I think they do answer that question later.
Yeah, they do.
And
but it's really weird because when he apostatizes, my thought process was that they'd be like, now leave. We'll get you on a boat. Get the hell out of our country.
yeah, but they make him stay because he's a good. They're good propaganda tools.
But not only do they make him stay, they make him take a man's wife, take over raising his children. He has to take that man's name.
Yes.
So basically, he becomes that man.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really, really odd because it's like, not only did he lose his religion, but he lost all of his identity. Every ounce of his identity is now gone. Because he's no longer, I can't remember what his name was, Koran?
Mm-hmm.
Father Koran or Father...
Oh, yeah. Let me hit the back button.
So he loses his name. He loses his, basically his virginity. His, vows that way too.
Well, I mean, they never showed that he did consummate the marriage.
Because he says he does.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think we should leave the ending and not spoil the ending right there. That fabulous shot, the fabulous ending. But I did want to talk a little bit, and we don't have that much time left. But about Adam Driver's ending. That was magnificent. That was just like, wow.
Yeah.
So they're pitting the two guys against each other, the two priests. They're both captive in different places.
Right.
And they take Andrew Garfield to the beach. They set up a nice little hut. It's not really a hut, you know, like a windscreen place, a nice place to sit. And they show these prisoners being marched along the beach, and then all of a sudden he sees there's his friend, Adam Driver, and they look at him and tell him, he doesn't know you're here, but we've told him you've apostatized already.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's watching them wrap these people up in what are these, like reed
yeah, like it's almost like it looks
blanket things
yeah.
to help weigh them down and you know bind their arms, and they're throwing them off a boat.
Yeah.
And their hearts are breaking. You can see their hearts breaking as they're watching that happen. Adam Driver, he looks.
Oh my God, he was destroyed.
He looked. Wow, what a fantastic piece of acting that was.
Yeah, him sitting on the shore and yelling, "Take me!" Like he's like, and tearing up right now just thinking about it. But when he, what's so beautiful about that is that I don't think he ever notices Andrew Garfield's there.
No, he's so focused on that.
Yeah.
The boat, the people, and he swims out there to save that lady they throw in.
Yeah.
And they take that pole and shove him underwater too, and killed him.
Yeah. But through that entire movie, Adam Driver, oh my Lord, what an amazing actor that guy is.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only seen him. I mean, he's of course Kylo Ren, which he's excellent as Kylo Ren. He's in that movie Midnight Special, which he's really good in that. And I think his biggest claim to fame is that he's in that TV show Girls, which I've only watched. I've only watched one episode of it.
I bet.
But I watch one episode of everything just to give it a chance. But you know me. But he is so amazing in this, and because to me he seems like Garfield, of course, is the more thoughtful one. He's the one who's always thinking and Grupe, which is Adam Driver's character, is the man of action.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because he even tells him, he goes that they should turn themselves in and just let it be. You know, it's like let's just go turn ourselves in. And they're like, no, we can't do that. These people want us here. They want us to pass this, you know, to pass the religion along. He's like, yes, but they're getting murdered left and right. Let's go. Let's save their lives so that they can have because I think one of the thought processes is like they live, they have the chance to keep on believing. They're dead.
Yeah.
it's all done. But there's a lot, just not Adam Driver. I'm not usually a big fan of Andrew Garfield. I didn't think he was great in Hacksaw Ridge. I thought he was moderate. I thought he did what he
got
had
the job done.
Yeah.
But he wasn't a Sam Worthington.
Yeah, no.
Well, I guess that was a bad example because he was okay in that one.
Yeah. But he's...
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, he's no Shia LaBeouf right now. But in this movie, I thought he was pretty great. Because not only is he... in kind of a way, he has I'm just like Jesus. I'm suffering just like Jesus. And at one point, even Liam Neeson tells him, he goes, "You're not Jesus."
Yeah.
So there's a lot of those, and the Inquisitor, the old guy, that great scene where he goes, "I'm waiting for the Inquisitor," and the old guy's like, "I am the Inquisitor."
Yeah.
And he tells him that, he goes, "Your glory is their suffering." And
oh, yeah.
in a way, he is kind of, it's like, he is kind of looking for his own glory, like his own, little piece of, this is what I did, But the Inquisitor was great, fantastic in it. The guy who played the translator was really, really good. I was so amazed when I found out that was the guy who played Kakahira in Ichi the Killer.
Yeah.
And because he's so...
Talk about a very different movie.
Oh, yeah. He's almost unrecognizable, and just the way he plays that character is so different than Kakahira.
Yeah.
Adam Driver is, of course, great. We said that Liam Neeson just carries this weight of the world upon his shoulders, and that was perfect.
Yeah, he's got that look on his face the entire movie, and
Perfect.
it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and he's not in a long time, but he's very good in it. Curran Hines, the priest who sends them out, he has that great line where he says, "Is this both in your hearts?"
Yeah, because he doesn't want him to go.
Yeah.
Actually, remember they say
they
want to go because that's their mentor, and they can't believe that he did that.
They apostatize, yeah.
But we're out of time here, so you got final thoughts on that?
Like I said, I think it is the best movie of the year. I've been mulling over it in my head, and I just think that it's another Martin Scorsese masterpiece. My lord, I mean, everything about that movie is good. I can't think of anything that I don't like about that movie. But yeah, I think it's fantastic. Well, a lot of people complain that it's too long. I don't think it's too long. I didn't even notice it was 2 hours and 40 minutes until we got out of the theater.
I thought it moved along at a really good pace
Yeah.
because it does engage your mind quite a bit.
Yeah.
That one. So so I mean, I know the Oscars just got announced.
None. None.
I know they just got announced. I know we're just coming off the holiday movie season.
Yeah.
If you're tired of the big loud movies, go see this one.
Yeah.
And I didn't really mean that to sound like a pun or anything on Silence, but the
Yeah.
movie's called Silence. But it is a thoughtful movie, and if you really are wanting something that's going to engage other parts of your body,
Yeah.
it's beautifully shot. I think we mentioned that. It's the score is great.
A good movie. Yeah.
I
Good
mean,
music.
the act, it's well done. The costuming is great. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, go check it out and give it a chance.
Yeah. And you don't have to believe in anything to see the movie.
No, I think the people that say, this person said that you have to, if you have no faith in anything or don't have no religion or anything, it's not for you at all. There's stuff in there for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta wonder, even people who don't have any kind of faith or anything, they believe in stuff
Yeah.
that people get killed for.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's stuff there that you can relate to, I think. It's just not, not in that way. But,
Right.
so there we go. And there's not a lot of movies like this, I think we said. There really aren't anymore. There aren't any movies like this anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I didn't think it was an in-your-face, like I think one of the complaints about some Christian movies are. It's in your face all the time.
Yeah.
And a Christian friend told me that about some of these other Christian movies coming out. I said, well, did you see that? And he says, well, it was in your face all the time. It kept smacking me with this and that, and I didn't want to see that. I don't think that this one is that way.
Right, it's more about struggling. They struggle a lot.
Struggling with your faith, a nice, thoughtful approach.
I mean,
So,
the guy who wrote this book, that the movie is based on is a Roman Catholic man living in Japan. He's a Japanese Roman Catholic, and all his life he's been told his religion's wrong. So you know that. So of course he struggles with it. Yeah.
And now I got to read that book
Yeah.
after seeing the movie. Got to go get the book and read that book. So yeah. So there you have it. So check that out and let us see, and we'll see you next time. And yeah, if you like what we're doing, give us a like. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to keep coming out. We do a lot of different kinds of movies. I think if you look back at what we've done so far, just since we started this channel, we've done a lot of different kinds of movies.
Yeah.
And if you go back and look at our Blog Talk archives, all over the place.
Yeah.
On there. So yeah, give us a like, share, subscribe. All right, and we'll see you the next time there, and the button.